Welcome back to HGC in North America, where Gale Force Esports were able to take down No Tomorrow in game number 1 on Sky Temple, but it was a close one. Now, No Tomorrow get to choose if they want first pick or the battleground choice and second pick. They have opted for first pick, so Gale Force is taking us to Braxis. Dread, I almost wondered if in this instance, if Gale Force Esports knew that it was going to be a pick for map pick in game number 1 for No Tomorrow, if they plan to win that and then know that they would have the map pick here, if this is going to be way more of something planned out than even in the last draft.
It very much may be the case. You know, it's a little bit of a kind of, we'll never know until we get to experience this scenario. But Gale Force, I feel like, is, out of any team in North America, probably the team I would expect to kind of have that, at least so far. After their performance last week, probably one of the most impressive I feel like I've ever seen when it came to just thought process, you know, draft manipulation, overall. Everything they did was very right, so I think that could be the case here.
How viable would it have been then if No Tomorrow were thinking about that to switch things up and say, we're just going to throw a wrench in their plans maybe and get map pick?
Yeah, that's a good point. It's like if you expect your opponent to be as calculated as they are, you know, what if you take them to, for instance, one of their preferred maps or one of the ones you expect them to be able to pick themselves, swapping first pick and second pick for that map? It very much could be a power play you look to make. It's a little bit of a mind game on both sides possibly here. But for now, we're going to Braxis. No Tomorrow here, sitting at the first pick.
Morales banned out for No Tomorrow. Do Gale Force Esports ban Tassadar here?
Do you ban the Tassadar? Tassadar seems to have made it through on this map more than almost any other map in North America so far.
And if they want to try to bait, if there's two heroes they really want and they're concerned about No Tomorrow taking it, is it worth leaving Tassadar up?
They say yes. Everybody fears the Zarya on Braxis Holda here in North America.
You know, I talked to Wolf when we were questioning what the heck's going on with Tassadar in Korea over North America and Europe. And he actually went and talked to a lot of people, including Hyde and Duck Duck, and they both said that they felt that Zarya is just the stronger second support right now because she can convert her shielding into damage. And that Duck Duck said that Tassadar maybe could be a different second range damage, but there's just better damage options out there. And Hyde felt that he's really only useful with Vala. So maybe we'll see him pick up here. If No Tomorrow want Vala, that's not the case. He's going to get Malfurion instead.
It's really interesting to, you know, hear that argument, but I can see a little bit where it's coming from, you know? Like I've always been talking about, you know, the level 1, moving into the W to be able to provide a little bit more damage is always something that I felt like as a Tassadar player, when I'm playing him, like I feel like I am more effective when I can provide that damage and not just the I'm a secondary support type hero. They obviously apparently feel the same, but so much so that it's not even viable going with the W route.
Right. They did also say some other people thought that he does have good burst shields versus burst, and especially for melee assassins. But in general, Korea's just not running a lot of melee assassins right now. They feel it's a lot weaker than some of the other options out there. But Gale Force do get Tassadar and pair it with Vala this time, so that is that magical pairing that even people in Korea still say is very strong, despite the Tassadar changes.
But that does leave Varian available for No Tomorrow into their 4-mana, looking for a bit of kill potential, possibly. It probably would be the safer route, I feel like. Gul'dan is still up here as well, and pairs pretty well with the Malfurion, so they have a couple of routes that can go. Nobody's put focus towards the solo laner, but I hate to say it, that's just North America right now. It's just neglect the top lane until you get to that point. So we'll see where they go. I do a Johanna instead of the Varian here. So going to try and match the wave clear. And then we do see the Ragnar, so then putting focus towards the top lane here. Very different draft.
Johanna is so weird to me, statistically, because here in North America, going into this weekend, she was at a 63% win rate.
Yep.
One of the highest so far. Granted, not nearly picked as much as the other big three, the Varian, ETC, Diablo as well, although like you said, he's falling off more here in North America. But teams that we felt weren't necessarily always having the best success with their warriors, like No Tomorrow, especially No Tomorrow, switching into Johanna seemed to have such a good result for them.
I think Johanna is, honestly, I think Johanna is probably one of the better warriors just overall in all of all of Heroes of the Storm. And it's weird to hear me say that, probably because I harp on her so much and how much I usually don't enjoy seeing her. The reason is literally just because she's so hard to work with. She's absolutely phenomenal on her own. She's one of the only warriors in the game who can move aggressively and not cost her own life. She has hard CC to be able to get the engagement. It's very hard to miss a Blessed Shield at the, the animation speed is absolutely ridiculous. All those are really cool dynamics. The problem is that you have to gain value with your team with Condemn. And the few teams that we have seen be able to do that very, very well suddenly make Johanna look like a warrior above. Nobody can almost touch her, right, at times. So, and we've seen it here and there across the world over the past, like, two years, really.
And one of those combos is Sulfurous Smash from Ragnaros. You can drop it down. There's Entangling Roots, too, to follow up. So in No Tomorrow's case, they have their solo support. They are lacking in the damage front for the solo laner. And Gale Force is going to punish them a little bit for that by banning Gul'dan, but still the setup is very strong for No Tomorrow so far.
Yeah, and we'll see where this goes. It's going to be the Thrall ETC here. Thrall to be able to match that solo towards the top. Gale Force here now sits with, it'll be interesting to look towards that last pick, what support route they want to move into. But now No Tomorrow here. They've committed quite a bit to their 4. They've considered their solo, but they have no DPS. Where's it going to go? It's going to be a Sylvanas.
Wow.
And Jaina. So, all right, this is interesting. So they're going to go with Jaina to complement kill potential into the 4 and wave clear. But they're going to pick Johanna over the Varian for that lockdown kill potential early on. We've seen the Varian Malf Jaina. It kills things very easily starting at level 4. So this is a unique hybrid kind of approach for No Tomorrow. They're going to be picking that warrior with Johanna for the wave clear, but then trying to make up for the wave clear with, or kill potential with Jaina still.
I'm seeing it as almost a battle of flanks. How's Thrall going to do versus Jaina? Is it going to be a Ring of Frost game? Or do you think there might be a water elemental possibility here?
It is an option to move into water elemental in this situation. The reason I would probably argue against it is purely based on Tassadar existing in the game, which is weird because typically Tassadar does well against burst, so then why wouldn't you do that with Ring? But mainly, Welly is going to gain no value on the backline, which is typically where you want to take water elementals. You want it hitting that backline, making it to where they gain little to no value, and they have to heavily focus it, kind of like, a Garg is the same thing, even though you can't control it. Gargantuan there for Nazebo. So overall, I do think probably Ring is a safer choice, but neither is overly appealing. No Tomorrow has drafted a very win harder composition with that Jaina Sylvanas.
Yes.
That being said, they have to start winning for you to win harder, and that makes me a little bit afraid when looking at these drafts.
That's well reasoned, because a lot of times you just straight up lose with those win harder type compositions, especially ones with Sylvanas in them. You think Battlefield of Eternity. If we get the Immortal, we win the game. But great, we never got the Immortal though. What do we do?
More times than I've liked to admit to, I've seen that exact same philosophy, which is why often when we see her, I talk about her a lot, where she's good, where she's bad. One thing to really note, though, that she does on this map different than every other one is it is so easy to get value out of the level 4. And I say that, and I feel like somehow I'm going to get trolled, and they don't move into the dagger spread, but it is ridiculously easy, and the damage output she has will spike significantly higher than almost any other map you see her played on, and that makes her, in my opinion, more relevant on this map than almost any other map, because even when she's not complementing the map objective, she's actually helping the fight early game. She's not a walking wailing arrow.
It seems like it does complement her and having her in your composition, though, that they also picked up Jaina, and they have locked down with Malfurion. Yes, they did pick Johanna, but it seems more like this is an air host specific to have Malfurion, or to have Johanna instead of another warrior.
Yeah.
So maybe if they can get those kills and make sure that they snowball,
I mean, it pairs with Ring pretty well, too. Though, Condemn into a Blessed Shield is legitimately probably pulling people into a perfect circle to be able to follow up there. The question is, again, do they get that follow-up? Like, every Condemn early game, if it clears a wave and it pulls one squishy too close, I better see a full Blizzard combo following up. Like, that is what we need to see for this Johanna-type play to really take off.
Well, we're ready for game number 2, so we're headed back into game, this time on Braxis Holdout.
She's such a unique hero, Johanna. How she plays out into the games overall, sometimes we see her, like I said, seem almost unstoppable. Other ones, you're like, man, what did Johanna do other than pull minions together in this game? So we'll see if Rojo has it once more here with the Johanna pick.
Meanwhile, over here on Gale Force Esports, who do you have your eye on this game? Fan with Volley, you always have to watch out because he does get some insane flanks with his strafes. But anybody else?
I would say definitely Fan above all else, and nobody else really kind of stands out depending on which heroic we see on the side of Gale Force for the Thrall. I feel like it's going to be a standard Earthquake, but if we do see the Sunder, then obvious heavy focus onto whoever moves into the Sundering, or it ends up picking it up there for GFE. Other than that, in my eyes, a lot of it's going to be on No Tomorrow's composition. I like what they did. It's a little bit of this, a little bit of that. You know, no all in. Oh, Tiger JK. Not on the support, by the way, but Tiger JK
oh my goodness.
Barely getting out of there. No, ask questions.
Jason.
I know, and it's none of the heroes either that he specifically told me that they were, you know, trying him onto. So,
what the heck?
I don't know. We'll find out.
Keeping
but for now,
fresh.
Jason is going to be dying here into the bottom half of the map. We do see Tiger making a risky transition towards top, but it pays off there. That is going to be Thrall going down a little bit of damage onto the front wall and forcing the hand now of Gale Force Esports. Very well done.
Love that move because it stops Gale Force Esports from getting what potentially could be a much stronger push in the bottom, getting that kill onto Jason. As with Sylvanas and Ragnaros pushing, somebody must respond to that as quickly as possible. And there's a good distance between the two lanes. So both Casanova and Tiger getting some value out of that quick rotation from Tiger.
Yeah, but for now, just the pressure they can apply to the early game is going to be now 2 people rotating towards top. This is very interesting. A little bit of a lane swap. Casanova is going down there. Tiger JK may stay to soak the lane, so very good response here for Gale Force so far.
Beacons will be coming online here in just a little bit. We may see teams continue to try to make these rotations swiftly between the two lanes, or that may steady things out for a little while as the teams want to have that standard 1v1 up in the top. But as long as Tiger JK is staying up at the top, Gale Force Esports are the ones who have to consider what they want to do. Do they allow both Sylvanas and Ragnaros to push versus just Thrall, or is somebody else going to move up and just change out what Gale Force Esports had planned for this early phase?
Now it looks like teams are comfortable remaining in their laning transition. As I say that, though, Tassadar is going to maybe look towards top, still backdooring this camp, if you will. I doubt Gale Force Esports gives this up for free. They're going to commit to this, though. Tiger JK, though, is going to be in a very tough position.
So it's a 3v3 down in the bottom as it's 2 for 2 up here on top of the camp. Finally, Tiger JK has to move away. Equinox will pick up that camp, but the rotation will go right back around so that Ragnaros can get back onto the point.
I didn't get trolled. We see the level 4 I was talking about, going with the Lost Soul.
Lost Soul, yeah.
Lost Soul is ridiculous. Because if you spread it to your entire opponent's team, it pretty much puts it to a 1-second cooldown.
But Mercenary Queen.
Yeah, that one's a little bit different. We have seen it on maps like Towers of Doom, but since then we really haven't seen much. The value you can get into the sappers themselves specifically has really kind of made it stand out. Overall, though, the skirmishes here, we're back to the comfortable 1-4 that is Vrax's holdout. Globe is not going to be contested as well. Teams feeling comfortable, but No Tomorrow has picked up that half-level experience here advantage. So, you know, they have to feel like it's working so far. Just don't mess around. Don't do anything too risky.
The problem for No Tomorrow is that they did dedicate a lot to trying to get that mercenary camp and didn't get it. And then, although they are ahead in experience, they're about 50%. They're exactly 50% behind in beacon progress. Arrow, as Johanna, a great choice to be able to just sit on top of that point for as long as he can, and Crowan does take damage from that, so he's going to back off. Mike's trying to flank, put some damage down on the back line of No Tomorrow. So far, No Tomorrow doing a great job of keeping a hold of this bottom beacon, especially since Casanova is not having the easiest time versus Equinox at the top.
Yeah, Fan just has such aggressive positioning when he has the Vala, especially when most of the time he's on it, somebody has a shield or a heal of some kind to be able to almost solely focus on him. But the lack of punishment on the side of No Tomorrow so far feels, you know, like it's gonna hurt them as this game moves on. For now, though, Gale Force moves up. They're going to be able to capture this bottom, but top was captured by No Tomorrow's Tiger JK once again. Transition towards the northern lane. No Tomorrow is going to lose this Shrine phase quite convincingly if they don't make an adjustment. The question is, where does that come into play?
Now, Tassadar rotated up again, knowing exactly what he needed to do and check out the camp at the same time. Now both of the beacons are being held, or the top one is being held at least. Arrow's doing what he can to stay on point, but Jason's running out of mana in this spot, trying to get takedown on Crowan before they can. Slims them down on trees. And they do get the ETC kill just in the nick of time.
Flashlight there, going to confirm the kill for Urho. We also see at 7, Barb Shot coming in for Sylv. This is not unique, I guess. It's very weird when Sylv comes into play. Some of her talents, Jaina. Either way, the bonus damage there is going to provide her wave clear just skyrockets. After picking up this talent, she now can clear a wave by herself very, very quickly as every minion dying. Being able to get more of the shots there and doing 200 bonus damage really begins to hurt.
Okay, let's see this Mercenary Queen in action, Tiger JK. There they are.
They're
fired up Hellbat.
They're throwing out the fire. They have a lot of cool HP. You know, they look like they're terrifying. And they are going down too quick, but in the end, their siege potential may be a little bit too low, at least this early in the game. Scaling is going to hurt them a bit. Power Slide comes out from Crowing, knocks Tiger JK into a bad spot. He's going to make it just out barely there. Good Condemn coming out from Urho to buy the peel.
Up from the top, we're also doing a lot of damage, making sure he keeps Casanova back as far as he can. Casanova did finish his stacking. Sulfurious Hunger's at level 1, so that's at least a little bit of a relief to know that he has that. Once again, we see Sylvanas headed up to top. What will the play be this time?
We'll find out. For now, Gale Force manages to pick up on bottom. Top is not going to be contested, so it's just buying more and more time. But no Tomorrow getting those couple of kills, getting this experience advantage. Maybe they're going to be waiting for that 10 mark to try and force that advantage. I don't think Gale Force is going to let him have it, though. I think Gale Force now realizes that, okay, this is about a full level. This is not what we wanted, so they're going to get extremely hypey when it comes to the actual shrines themselves. I expect them to like, just, I mean, 3-man commitment towards top in the near future.
But nobody's moving up yet, and Sylvanas and Ragnaros are on the fort in top. They have nearly taken it down. 10. That is going to be a sizable experience advantage.
Yeah, that's going to, after this turret, it's going to put them, like, legitimately a % below 10, and then there is no fighting. No Tomorrow off of these shrines. So Gale Force Esports here had a window, did not capitalize completely off of it, and now we'll see what No Tomorrow is going to be able to pick up. Ring of Frost it is when it comes to Jaina. Everyone else is going to be sticking to what they know. Equinox gets the kill there onto Sylv.
Oh, Casanova tried to save. He's going to go down 2. That gives experience to Gale Force Esports. Not enough for heroic abilities, but that quick rotation up and getting those 2 kills buys them time. It also buys them the top beacon so they don't lose 100%. They maintain their advantage there. But No Tomorrow, realizing that it's all for loss, they will lose those 2 heroes, makes the quick decision to push into the bottom fort.
The question is, do they lose more here, as this is going to be a 3 versus 4 onto the bottom lane. 10 still not picked up here by Gale Force Esports. Gale Force realizes they don't want to risk it, but now they have picked up the 10s. They're going to move in aggressively. There's going to be the Power Slide Cleanse coming out from Jason to buy time. Thrall making the transition down, but all the members of No Tomorrow here, minus Casanova, excuse me. Blessed Shield used and missed. Strafe going to come out here from Fan.
Stage eye for ETC, Sundering for Thrall. They have to watch out for Equinox's flanks now.
Sundering is my favorite heroic in this entire game. It is just so good. It's so, it's going to put a lot of pressure onto Equinox, and I think he has the ability to perform. This flank, for instance, is a good one.
Flank comes in, stage dive down. Jaina eliminated. Ring of Frost off the back, though, in Twilight Dream. As Tiger JK is trying to move back, Jason got that. It's 2 kills for Gale Force Esports along with the Zerg. At least Molten Floor cleaned out a lot of those Zerg, though.
I mean, how do you say no to that? You know what I mean? That's like Sundering, just so fun there. Great job from Equinox, though, to split No Tomorrow, putting them in a terrible position and not going to be able to net that kill. Gale Force now looking towards the front. They don't have the greatest siege in the world. Fan is pretty much the only hero that's going to be effective in that department. And the wave clear on the opposite side, if Sylv survives, is very, very good. So no fort available for them. Experience sitting close to even, as the Zerg rush is going to be cleared.
You like the Sundering. I like the Librarian combo that No Tomorrow has with Wailing Arrow and Twilight Dream. It didn't work out there, but I especially love it versus Rhaegar, because if they can stop him long enough to get a kill so he can't Ancestral, that's fight right there. Yeah,
it very much is. This is man, this is going to be a unique situation, because obviously that fight was insane engagement there with the Sunder. There's almost nothing you can do at that point into the game, or at least, you know, when you were the one Sundered into your opponents there. Comfortable fight to give up. You just go, okay, you know, got flanked, it's fine. But we're yet to really see No Tomorrow, I guess, look to try and start their team fighting on their own. How well does that Ring of Frost Condemn play come out with the Wailing Arrow, with the Twilight Dream? They have so many wombos. It's just, all is going to be following up there onto Urho's Condemn.
They have the Wombo, but can they make it a combo? That's the question, right?
That is the question, you know? To Wombo or to combo? This is a unique choice here. ETC is going to clear onto bottom. A 5-man commitment towards the top lane. Condemn coming out onto it. Blessed Shield used. Great cleanse coming from Akka. Face the stage dive into the back. Jaina already going to be removed here as she drops the ring, but it's all going to be a lost Twilight Dream, and everything here is going to be used on full retreat. Now is no Tomorrow, and a huge win there for GFE.
Again, no Tomorrow have to use all of those heroics just as a retreat or throwing them out, hoping that it nets a kill, like the Ring of Frost, netting a kill for your team when you know you're going to die. But Gale Force Esports are the ones who are in full control of these fights. They didn't even use Sundering in there or have to use. We're forced to use Ancestral Healing. So if they get engaged on once No Tomorrow comes back in, they have that potential. Swing.
The Molten Core, that was going to be Sundering used as well. But it looks like the retreat's going to be reeled here for GFE. To be honest, though, that was a winning trade for No Tomorrow. The fact that Sundering was used and the objective is going to be spawning now, it's going to typically how long it takes the map objective not only to spawn, get captured, and move. It will be time for Molten Core to be back, so they'll be fine in that department. But it's mainly that these, the dance here for 45 seconds without Sundering is really going to hurt Gale Force into this game. Urho, though, on the bottom by himself for now. He's going to be just fine retreating there. The beauty of Johanna. We'll see how this shrine phase goes. As 13 is for talent tier available for both sides.
No Tomorrow moving in, trying to maybe get a kill on Equinox before ETC can stage dive in. They just need to take this beacon away ASAP. This is 30%. It took 30% of the Zerg rush for No Tomorrow to mobilize in the way that they would like. There goes Blessed Shield, Casanova in the front line. Stage dive on the back, hits Airho as Iron Skin. He'll get back in time. Fan moving in with the strafe. Casanova in trouble. Gets the heal.
They can turn really hard, though. The ring is going to land. I guess land is an optimistic word choice there, as nobody's going to connect. And now Archon's now used. So No Tomorrow here. That wasn't pretty. They were on full retreat for a moment, had the opportunity to turn, but maybe a couple of seconds too late there. And now this is going to be both shrines captured once again for Gale Force. Urho is not okay with this. He moves in to the shrine, but Tiger is completely split, even going into 1v1, forcing the Sunder now onto him. He goes down by himself here. No capture there as the power slide goes into Jaina. The follow-up by the Pharaoh Spirit. Casanova's got, he's got Sulfurous Smash. There's a lot of Sulfurous, very little Smash happening. And this, in fact, is going to be a 100-0 Zerg rush.
Yeah, it's frustrating for No Tomorrow because they just can't get the start that they want to a fight.
Yes.
They cannot land ring on anybody, and then if they had a couple of people who were rooted from there, Wailing Arrow comes in. They've got Sulfurous Smash. They can instantly turn that into a couple of takedowns, but the problem is that it's just not the same as having, say, a Void Prison to set up a ring.
Yeah, and not having the mobility at 7 for Johanna really cripples her engage potential. She goes from, like, no engage whatsoever outside of a Blessed Shield with this type of build to like a decent engager having that 7 mobility to be able to catch up to people, especially with their Iron Skin. So I do think that's hurting No Tomorrow into their comp, at least so far, but at this point, they have what they have. How do they come back? Their opponents are going to be sitting at 16. You stop the keep, but this fight is not one to choose because it's only a matter of seconds before stage dive completely turns this.
Don't want to try. Tiger was aggressively moving in with Haunting Wave, but Gale Force moved back in time so that they do get at least into a better position if that fight were to happen, if not getting out completely so they can get their 16. And there they will have that. Everything looking pretty standard. Second strike for Tassadar. So now, or Psionic Echo, that's the new name of it, that's right. Blood for Blood instead of Tempest Fury is the only thing I see for Thrall.
Yeah, that one's, it's a hit or miss. It's all about your situations. It's kind of like, the only other hero that kind of has that exact same scenario might be like Tyrael a little bit, at the 16 mark. But obviously Holy Ground typically is going to be the one people go to because, yeah, it in fact is awesome. If you've ever just wanted to create an entire wall that nobody can really pass. Cursed Hollow, go ahead and pick up that talent. Bottom fort's falling for No Tomorrow. They're looking for the response somewhere, but again, with these structures and the lanes and the length of them, getting experience is not a very easy thing to be able to do or come back with on Brax's holdout. A good flank, though, for Gale Force Esports. They're going to get it. There is no backing out of this. Gale Force right now is just licking their lips.
Here comes Equinox.
Oh.
Jason's in trouble, running away. Feral Spirit hits. There's a stage dive, too. Jumps right on top of Ice Block. That's only going to last for so long. Sundering actually comes out in a way that it doesn't stop it, but Malfurion goes down.
Yeah, that would have been possibly a winning trade if just Malf died. Losing Urho on top, somebody was dying. There's 100% somebody's dying. Malf was the first to get snipped out, so they probably should have just sacrificed him to, you know, again, minimize the losses here. But Urho on top of it, it could have been worse is about the best way to put that scenario.
And we talked about it. We talked about the idea of Sylvanas. We talked about how difficult No Tomorrow have had with trying to make this happen. Yeah, No Tomorrow has not yet won the Zerg Rush in a way that they can push with Sylvanas.
Feels
yes,
bad.
They have all the defense in the world. Sylvanas, Ragnaros. But the Zerg and Gale Force are still going to do something.
Yeah.
Even through that defense.
Yeah, and another way to put it, too, that you have to consider as well, what if we don't use Sylv offensively? Because you can use Sylv defensively, or offensively with the Zerg Rush while it's like 2%, right? And get more value, obviously, by disabling the shots. The problem is, she can't 1v1 Thrall. There is a 0% chance she does well in that matchup. It's just a matter of time before the poke that he provides will end up winning the trade, and that's why they really can't do that. It's got to commit to a winning Zerg Rush, and they're yet to be able to earn that, as 84% still exists. Top's going to be captured here. Molten Core is going to be dropped. It buys time for the keep, but in fact, the Zerg Rush is not going to set its focus towards bottom keep here. So very well done. You know, No Tomorrow still got their keep. They've got about to pick up 16. This bottom keep probably almost 100% going to go down at this point into the game. The question is, can they move past it, look for a team fight as a group? The most important thing is that when Ring of Frost is dropped, it hits more than one target, and Sulfurous Smash goes on to one target that is not cleansed. If that happens, they have a shot in this team fight. Or the minute Ring's dropped, Wailing Arrow has to come out instantly to isolate. Even if it only hits Octoface, it will be a good Wailing Arrow.
For now, No Tomorrow just want to clear out the Zerg as much as they can. Keep your eyes on Airho. When he starts to move out, that's when they are ready to try to strike. Casanova's moving in. Here goes the start. Starting to move in. Condemn goes down. Where's Trees? No ring just yet.
No ring just yet. It only ended up hitting Fan with that Condemn. Again, watching Johanna try and initiate at this point in time without the 7 mobility here. She's pretty much just waiting for her Blessed Shield. One Condemn going to come out. The Root's going to drop 7, or excuse me, the stage dive onto the backline with the strafe. Tiger JK's dead before he can even get the Wailing Arrow off. Granted, it was interrupted, so Furious smash onto 2 people, but they are going to be able to pick off Casanova now as Gale Force Esports here. 4 members dead. It looks like it's going to be a 5th as Jason is sadly walking away. He's going to be knocked away, but here this looks like it's going to be GG. Gale Force Esports convincing game 1. Same story here for game 2.
There was 2 members hit from Ring of Frost that time, and it was on Equinox and Octoface in the back, but Octoface was able to keep Equinox alive through that, used Ancestral Healing. Equinox just turned, hit a beautiful Sundering off the backside of that engage, and the counter was swift and deadly for Gale Force Esports to get a 2nd win in the series.
Yeah, it was well earned. You know, there was no like over creativity when it comes to comp. It was just very, we're going to run objectively pretty strong stuff across the board. We aren't even going to worry about the map that much. We're just going to play our game, and it looked good the entire way through. I'm excited to look at the next one, though. I mean, even though Gale Force has been able to get the wins, I do want to compliment No Tomorrow. I still feel like this is the best version of them, even though it's not looking like it, that we've still ever seen. Because, again, it's, if you told me this like week 1 and 2 version of No Tomorrow in the series, I would say like it would be 3-level leads over and over. And they're putting up a relatively good fight. Maybe a little bit of draft questions, but that stuff, that happens for everyone, even the best of the best. So I like this from No Tomorrow so far. Obviously, it's not working out, but it's good.
I agree. Gale Force Esports is a very tough competitor, but we'll see if No Tomorrow can bring it back in the series right after this.